Hello everyone, it's us again, the team behind TV Day's Drama Digest. We're thrilled to be back with another deep dive into the whirlwind world of daytime television drama where secrets simmer just below the surface. Alliances shift like sand in a storm, and every glance could hide a dagger or a declaration of love. Today, we're zeroing in on one of the most gripping storylines that's got fans buzzing from coast to coast, the saga of Jeremy Horton. Buckle up because this tale is about to take us on a rollercoaster ride of suspicion, redemption, betrayal, and high-stakes arrests. The big question looming over Salem like a dark cloud? Jeremy's going to be arrested. But is he really the culprit behind Stephanie's mounting troubles and the ever-present danger that's stalking her every move? Let's unpack this story step by step, exploring the twists and turns that have left us all on the edge of our seats, and speculate on what might come next in this electrifying narrative. First, let's set the stage by reminding ourselves who Jeremy Horton really is. For those who've been following days of our lives since the Horton family tree first branched out, Jeremy is no stranger to controversy. He's the son of Mike Horton and Robin Jacobs, a character who's often walked the fine line between hero and anti-hero. Jeremy burst onto the scene years ago with a chip on his shoulder the size of the Brady pub, entangled in schemes that ranged from shady business dealings to romantic entanglements that left hearts shattered in their wake. Remember his ill-fated romance with Chelsea Brady? That was a masterclass in passionate highs and devastating lows filled with jealousy, misunderstandings, and enough drama to fuel a season's worth of episodes. But lately, Jeremy has been on a path of apparent redemption. We've seen glimpses of a man trying to turn over a new leaf perhaps, inspired by the enduring legacy of his Horton roots, where family values and second chances are as sacred as Alice's donuts. Yet, as is so often the case in Salem, good intentions pave the road to hellish accusations. Jeremy is desperately trying to change, shedding his old skin like a snake in the Garden of Eden. But his efforts are falling on deaf ears. The town seems determined to see him as the villain he's always been painted as, refusing to acknowledge the subtle shifts in his behavior. He's volunteered at community events, mended fences with distant relatives, and even sought counseling to address his past impulsiveness. Imagine the frustration building inside him, a pressure cooker of emotions ready to explode. He's reaching out, extending olive branches, only to have them snapped in half by skepticism and outright hostility. Enter Alex Kyriakis and Stephanie Johnson, two characters whose lives have become inextricably linked to Jeremy's in this web of intrigue. Alex, with his brooding good looks and a family history riddled with corporate espionage and romantic rivalries, has never been one to trust easily. Stephanie, the resilient daughter of Steve and Kayla Johnson, has faced her own share of heartache from lost loves to life-threatening adventures that would make lesser women crumble. Together, they've formed a bond that's both tender and tense, navigating the choppy waters of their relationship amid external threats. But now, they're turning their critical eyes on Jeremy, lashing out with accusations that cut deep. It all stems from a mysterious letter that Alex received, a chilling missive laced with threats and innuendos hinting at secrets from the past that could unravel everything. Picture the scene: Alex pacing in his luxurious penthouse, the city lights of Salem twinkling mockingly outside the window. He unfolds the letter, his hands trembling slightly not from fear, but from his simmering rage. The words leap off the page, veiled warnings about Stephanie's safety, allusions to hidden dangers lurking in the shadows. Who could have sent this? He mutters to himself, his mind racing through a Rolodex of enemies. And there, at the top of the list, is Jeremy. Stephanie, ever the voice of reason tinged with emotion, joins him, her eyes wide with concern. It has to be him, Alex. Jeremy's always had it out for us. Remember how he manipulated situations before? This reeks of his style. Their criticism isn't just words. It's a barrage of distress that isolates Jeremy further, pushing him toward the very desperation they fear. But the plot thickens, as it always does in these soap opera symphonies. Enter Steve Johnson, the legendary Patch himself. A man whose eye patch is as iconic as his unyielding sense of justice. Steve, with his background in espionage and private investigation, is no stranger to covert operations. He's the kind of character who can sniff out a lie from a mile away, his instincts honed by years of dodging bullets and unraveling conspiracies. In this storyline, Steve takes on the role of the watchful guardian, closely monitoring Alex as part of a meticulously crafted plan to trap Stephanie's tormentor. Why trap Stephanie, you ask? It's a bait-and-switch tactic, a high-risk strategy designed to lure out the real culprit by making it seem like Stephanie is vulnerable. Steve's involvement adds layers of paternal protective, and after all, Stephanie is his daughter, and the thought of her in danger ignites a fire in his soul that could burn down the entire town. Visualize Steve in the dim light of a stakeout, binoculars in hand, his one good eye piercing through the night. He's parked inconspicuously outside Alex's place, noting every visitor, every shadow that flits across the curtains. His mind is a chessboard anticipating moves several steps ahead. This has to work, he whispers to himself, the weight of his family's safety pressing down on him. The plan is intricate by keeping tabs on Alex. Steve hopes to intercept any attempts to harm Stephanie, turning the hunter into the hunted. It's a dramatic escalation, filled with tension that builds like a crescendo in a thriller soundtrack. Will Steve's vigilance pay off, or will it inadvertently draw more danger into their lives? As the story hurtles forward, the spotlight shifts to Jada Hunter, the sharp-witted detective whose no-nonsense attitude has made her a fan favorite. Jada, with her keen investigative skills and a personal history that's added depth to her character, is on the case. She's the one who uncovers the pivotal evidence that points an accusatory finger straight at Jeremy. What is this evidence? The show teases it masterfully: a fingerprint on the envelope of the threatening letter, perhaps, or a digital trail leading back to Jeremy's devices. Maybe it's a witness statement from a shadowy figure in Salem's underbelly, claiming to have seen Jeremy lurking near Stephanie's home. Whatever it is, it's damning enough to propel Jada into action. The confrontation scene is poised to be one of the most explosive moments in recent episodes. Jada marches up to the iconic Horton house, that bastion of family gatherings and heartfelt revelations where generations have laughed, cried, and schemed. Julie Williams, the matriarch with her impeccable style and unyielding loyalty to her kin, is there, perhaps sipping tea in the living room, oblivious to the storm about to break. Jada bursts in, her badge gleaming under the chandelier lights, her voice steady but laced with authority. "Jeremy Horton, we need to talk," she declares, her eyes locking onto his. Jeremy, caught off guard, stammers, "What is this about?" But Jada doesn't mince words. She lays out the evidence in front of Julie, whose face crumples in disbelief and horror. "This can't be," Julie gasps, her hand clutching her pearls. The air thickens with accusations fly, denials echo, and the Horton legacy hangs in the balance. It's a masterstroke of storytelling, blending family dynamics with police procedural elements, leaving viewers gasping. And then comes the arrest, the moment we've all been dreading and anticipating in equal measure. Jeremy, still clad in his everyday attire, perhaps a rumpled shirt from a long day of trying to prove his worth, is handcuffed right there in the Horton living room. The cold metal clicks shut around his wrists, a sound that reverberates like a death knell. He protests his innocence vehemently, his voice rising in pitch with desperation. "I didn't do this." "You've got the wrong guy," he shouts, his eyes pleading with Julie, who stands frozen, torn between familial love and the weight of the evidence. The police escort him out, the door slamming shut behind them like the final curtain on his freedom. As they drive to the station, Jeremy's mind races flashbacks to his past mistakes, regrets flooding in like a tidal wave. The interrogation room awaits, with its harsh fluorescent lights and unyielding questions. Will he crack under pressure or hold firm to his claims of reform? Of course, in the cutthroat world of Salem justice, Jeremy won't face this alone. He'll need a lawyer, someone sharp and savvy to navigate the legal labyrinth. Enter perhaps Belle Black, the legal eagle with a Horton connection through marriage. Or maybe a new character introduced to shake things up. Imagine the strategy sessions, Jeremy, shackled and weary, pouring out his side of the story. "I've changed," he insists. "This is a setup. Someone's framing me to keep me down." The lawyer nods, piecing together defense's alibis. Character witnesses, holes in the prosecution's case. It's a battle not just for Jeremy's freedom, but for his soul. A chance to prove that redemption is possible even in a town where grudges last lifetimes. Now, the million-dollar question: could Jeremy really be behind all the trouble surrounding Stephanie, and the eerie sensation that she and Alex are being followed? The show has masterfully planted seeds of doubt. On one hand, Jeremy's history screams motive epist rivalries with Alex over business or romance, a lingering resentment toward Stephanie for perceived slights. The threats feel personal, tailored to exploit their fears. Shadows in the alleyways, anonymous calls in the dead of night, a feeling of eyes boring into their backs. It's classic stalker territory, and Jeremy's name fits the bill. But let's not jump to conclusions. Soap operas thrive on misdirection, and this could be a red herring of epic proportions. What if the real culprit is someone closer, like a jealous ex or a corporate saboteur from the Kyriakis Empire? Steve's plan to trap the perpetrator might backfire, revealing layers of deception we haven't even imagined. Perhaps Jeremy's changes are genuine, and this arrest is the catalyst for a deeper conspiracy involving long-buried secrets from Salem's past. Think about it, the letter could be forged, the evidence planted by a master manipulator pulling strings from the shadows. Fans online are ablaze with theories and point to Vivian Alamine's return, others to a Demare plot twist. The drama is palpable, with social media threads dissecting every clue, from wardrobe choices to background props. As we wait for the next episodes to air, the anticipation is electric. Will Jeremy's arrest shatter the Horton family or unite them in a quest for truth? Can Steve's surveillance uncover the real threat before it's too late? And what about Stephanie and Alex? Will their accusations drive a wedge between them or strengthen their bond in the face of adversity? The beauty of Days of Our Lives lies in its ability to weave these threads into a tapestry of human emotion where no one is purely good or evil, and every action has ripple effects. Let's delve deeper into the psychological undercurrents here. Jeremy's arc is a poignant exploration of redemption in a judgmental society. He's like a modern-day prodigal son returning to the fold only to find the door half shut. His frustration manifests in subtle ways: clenched fists during confrontations, a haunted look in his eyes when alone. The show's writers have done a brilliant job portraying this internal struggle, using close-up shots and brooding monologues to draw us into his psyche. Contrast that with Stephanie's resilience. She's not just a victim but a fighter, drawing on her parents' legacy of survival. Her troubles are mere plot device, they are metaphors for the perils of trust. In a world full of deceivers, Steve's role adds a layer of gritty realism. As a former ESA agent, his methods are unorthodox, bordering on vigilante. Monitoring Alex isn't just about protection. It's a father's desperate bid to shield his child from the chaos that once engulfed his own life. Remember Steve's history with the Vitalis and the Damaras? It's all coming full circle, blending old vendettas with new threats. Jada's investigation, meanwhile, highlights themes of justice and bias. Does her evidence hold up? Or is it tainted by preconceptions about Jeremy's past? The Horton house confrontation deserves its own spotlight. Julie, as the family's moral compass, embodies the conflict between heart and head. Her reaction: shock, denial, perhaps a flicker of doubt, mirrors the audience's own turmoil. Will she rally the family to Jeremy's defense or distance herself to protect the Horton name? This scene could be a turning point, echoing classic moments like the revelation of Buz's paternity or Maggie's battles with addiction. As for the arrest and legal proceedings, they're ripe for courtroom drama. Imagine the bail hearing, Jeremy in an orange jumpsuit, the gallery packed with Salem's elite. Witnesses take the stand, Alex recounting the letter's terror, Stephanie describing the stalking dread. Jeremy's lawyer cross-examines, poking holes. Where's the concrete proof? Circumstantial evidence isn't enough. The judge's gavel falls, tension peaks, and we're left hanging, speculating on Jeremy's guilt. Let's consider alternatives. Maybe it's Leo Stark, the scheming gossip with a grudge, or Gwen Rizzo seeking revenge. The following of Stephanie and Alex could tie into larger arcs like the ongoing corporate wars, or supernatural elements that occasionally spice up Salem. Though let's hope it stays grounded this time. In wrapping up this epic dissection that we could go on forever, Jeremy's storyline is a testament to why we love soaps. It's dramatic, detailed, and deeply human. Over 1,000 words in, and we barely scratched the surface, but that's the magic. Stay tuned, fellow fans, the truth will out, but not without more heartache and heroics. What do you think, innocent or guilty? Drop your theories in the comments below. Until next time, keep the drama digesting.